श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की हरे कृष्णा। राम जी के विवाह में आए हुए
Hare Krishna,
बारातियों
I
का
welcome all the attendees of the marriage of Lord Sri Ram and Sita Ji Maiya.
इस संसार में
In this world,
प्रायः हम सब
usually we all,
भगवत दर्शन के लिए
the people,
प्राप्ति के लिए
to attain the Lord,
पास जाते हैं।
we visit the Lord.
अपने बिजी जीवन से समय निकाल
From our busy schedules, we take some time out,
त्योहार में उत्सव में
especially on the occasion of
में
festivals or holidays, we try
एक भक्त भगवान
a practitioner of devotional service,
और जब
that is a sadhak bhakta, goes to the Lord. So when a devotee walks towards the Lord gives him his darshan and bestow his mercy. But if we have a question
जैसे हमारे पास
that by some reason
जाने का समय नहीं है
we might not have time to visit the Lord,
तो फिर भगवान हमारे पास कैसे आ सकते हैं?
then how the Lord can come to
जीवन में
us?
ऐसा क्या करें
In this life, what should we do
के पास न जाना
that
पड़े
we don't need to go to visit the Lord, but the Lord should visit us or may visit us?
वैसे प्रायः
So usually
के पास जाना पड़ता है
people should visit the Lord or people visit the Lord,
वस्तु है
but there is one thing
भगवान के पास नहीं जाना है
by which
हमारे पास
we need not to go or visit the Lord, but the Lord will visit us. Just let me know,
को भगवान के पास जाना पड़ा
did the people of Janakpur had to go and visit the Lord,
राम जी चलकर मिथिला
or
में गए
Lord Ram himself went there?
चलकर जनकपुर में गए
He himself walked towards Janakpur,
मिथिला
Puri.
वासी को जनकपुर
So the residents of Mithila
पड़ा
did not had to go to Lord Sri Ram, but Lord Ram is visiting them. And the reason behind the same is
जनकपुर के वासियों में
the residents of Janakpur or the
यदि ये 6 वस्तु
denizens of Mithila had 6 qualities. And if we have these 6 qualities, then we need not to visit the Lord. The Lord himself will visit and meet us.
और वे 6 तू कौन सी है?
And what are those 6 things?
पूरा नर नारी सुभग शुचि संता, पूरा नर नारी सुभग शुचि संता, पूरा नर नारी सुभग शुचि संता, धर्मशील ज्ञानी गुणवंता, धर्मशील ज्ञानी गुणवंता। राम जी जनकपुर में पहुंचे हैं।
So Ramji has reached Janakpuri, and how are the people of Mithila or Janakpuri? Ramji had accepted these people and had attached a relationship with them. And even if we desire that the Lord should attach a desire, attach himself to us, then like the residents of Mithila or Janakpuri, we should have these 6 qualities.
मिथिलावासियों में कहते हैं पूर्ण नर नारी।
So the denizens of Janakpuri, each and every man and women had these 6 qualities.
So सबसे पहली वस्तु कौन सी थी? बड़ी
So what are these 6 qualities that are very important? So please listen very carefully, because if we have these 6 qualities, the Lord will accept us.
सबसे पहली वस्तु थी,
so first and foremost quality they had was subhag. So here this word implies beauty. So the people of Janakpuri were beautiful.
मिथिलावासी
They had great bodily features. Usually it so happens when we come to devotional service, we have only one philosophy. We are not this body, we are soul. We are not this body, but we are the soul. And as we keep on meditating on the soul, we become reckless towards our body. And then the body gets distressed and disturbed. And when it gets distressed by that, this body, how can we practice our devotional service? So we all agree that the body is mortal and it's going to be destroyed. But if we have this body, only then other qualities can be portrayed. How are we going to experience the qualities if we don't have the body? Although the body is mortal, but the Lord has given us this body, therefore we should take care of this body. This body should be taken care of as it's a gift from the Lord Himself. Therefore, someone has said, Jaan hai to jahan hai. If we have life, only then there is wealth. So those who are near and dear ones to us, I tell them that we should live a life in such a manner that we should first of all take care of our body. Because if our body is in good shape, then only we will be able to practice devotional service and we will be able to educate ourselves and we will be able to serve the Lord. So that is the principle of 4S. Anyhow, Subhag. So we should take care of our body. We should keep it healthy and decorate it. Sometimes people say we should be good inwardly. if I come here with haywire hair and torn dress, then would you all come and see me? If I just, if I don't, and if I speak with no energy, then will you all gather here to listen to me? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world, and his fundamental goal was to teach devotional service to all. And for that, what was his weapon?
कृष्णम सांगो पांगास्त्र पार्षदम, चैतन्य महाप्रभु के अंग उपांग महाप्रभु
So
की
his body and his beauty was his weapon.
अस्त्र और शस्त्र का काम महाप्रभु
He used to take
करती थी।
use of his body as a weapon.
होगी
So if we have beautiful body, healthy body, then only we will be able to serve, educate ourselves and serve the Lord. Srila Prabhupada always used to say,
चाहते हैं
a
जो
person who wants to preach Krishna consciousness or teach devotional service, he should always maintain themselves.
उसकी
His appearance, his image should be very clean or presentable. So, Subhag here,
कैसे हैं सुभग,
the people of Janakpuri are beautiful and healthy. First, now
शुचि,
the second is Shuchi.
बाहर से सुंदर हो जाने से काम
So,
नहीं,
just outward cleanliness or beauty does not means much, because sometimes people are extremely beautiful from outside, but inwardly they are not so good.
बाहर से सुंदर थे और शुचि
So, Shuchi means they were pious or pure from inward or inside as well. So, the bodily beauty can be achieved by taking a bath properly and exercising. We should do some yoga and we should plan our diet. Do I need to teach you all everything? So, this is for the outward appearance of the body. But for inward beauty or
मंत्र से होगी,
purity, how can that be achieved? By mantra. Till the point we don't chant the holy names of the Lord, our body inwardly won't be purified. In the last Katha, what did we heard? From inwardly, if we want to purify ourselves, then the greatest mantra is the Maha Mantra.
चित्त रूपी दर्पण को बिल्कुल धो देता है,
If the Maha Mantra cleanses the heart,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। सो मिथिलावासी जनकपुर के
so
लोग
the residents of Mithila were beautiful inwardly and pure inwardly. So we need to be clean and healthy outwardly, and we need to become pure by chanting the holy names of the Lord inwardly as well. And only these two also are not sufficient or will not suffice. So no matter how much you clean your home or car, but we need to drive it as well. So the third quality is Santa.
सुभग बाहर से पवित्र,
So clean or pure inwardly and outwardly, and Santa, that is, their behavior was that of a sage.
माने सरल स्वभाव के,
That means they were simple.
सरल स्वभाव के। एक बात याद रखिएगा,
So
जीवन
do
में
remember one thing, till the point in our life we are not simple,
तब तक भगवान नहीं मिलेंगे।
till that point we won't be able to attain the Lord.
भगवान रामचंद्र ने बिल्कुल कहा,
Lord Ramchandra has said,
छिद्र न भावा, निर्मल मन जो मोहि पावा, जिसका मन निर्मल है, जो पवित्र
whose
है,
heart is pure, only that person will attain me, because I don't like conceit and deceit. full people. Therefore, we need to become simple. So, this word is also very easy. It has no. So, to become a doctor or engineer is easier. By working hard, we can attain any degree or qualification, but the toughest of all is to become simple.
सरल बनने
We are speaking on this word, sant or saral. So, if you ask, what are we supposed to do to become simple or saral?
राम और ल माने
So,
सीता राम
from Sita, for Sir Sita, and for Ram and Lakshman for La. So if we just remember Sita, Ram, Lakshman, then we will become saral or simple. And there is no other way to become simple in life.
संत स्वभाव के साधु स्वभाव के थे केवल पवित्र हो जाने से साधु स्वभाव हो
So
जाने से भी कुछ नहीं
not only by attaining these three qualities, there is another fourth quality. What is that? Dharam, Sheel. The inhabitants of Janakpuri were engaged in their principles of religiosity or dharam. So here dharma implies devotional service. So dharma can imply so many multiple meanings. It can imply behavior or our work, etc. But the ultimate dharma or principle of religiosity is to serve the Lord. Till that point, we won't be happy because that is the eternal nature of a human or living entity.
रत रहना
So, Sheel is to engage, and Dharma is to perform devotional service towards the Lord.
और इतना ही नहीं
And not only that, they not only used to perform devotional service, but they were also jnani. So just by serving is also not sufficient. With that, we also need the knowledge. Because without knowledge, the service can make create offenses. We have seen sometimes people do so much devotional service, but
ज्ञान
with
के अभाव में
in ignorance or devoid of knowledge, they create offenses.
हैं लेकिन
So they are
अपराध
no matter working hard, performing the service, that
और न जाने भगवान भक्ति
because of ignorance, they get away from the devotional service because they have created offenses.
क्यों क्योंकि ज्ञान
Why?
नहीं है
Because they lack the knowledge. So the residents of Janakpuri were not only Dharamshil but also Jnani. That is, they had the knowledge of what is the glory and pride of performing devotional service. Sometimes when we get service, we think that it is a burden.
सेवा मिलने पर घर पर उत्सव होना चाहिए
When we get a service, we should celebrate it that our spiritual master had thought us capable or qualified enough to give us an opportunity to serve him. So, while chanting the holy names only, we only think of 10 offenses of holiness. So there are 32 offenses while performing devotional service. So we should try to save ourselves from the same, but for that we need to have the knowledge and education for the same.
ज्ञान नहीं
So here, Gunvanta does not imply Brahmagyan.
भागवत परक
It
भगवत
means the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic scriptures. And not only that, Gunvanta.
गुण
Sixth is they were filled with qualities.
प्रत्येक नर और नारी में
Each
गुण
and every man and woman of Janakpuri had
एक
good
मनुष्य में,
qualities.
भक्त में जितने गुण होने चाहिए,
They had all the qualities that should be present in an exalted devotee of the Lord.
जाकर भगवान ये
Then
6 चीजें
only,
जिसमें होती है,
if a person has these six qualities, they need not go to the Lord. The Lord himself visits them.
जनकपुर में आए हैं,
So Ramji has arrived to Janakpuri because
धर्म से
they
ज्ञान
have these six qualities.
तब मन में प्रश्न होगा,
So there might be a question here
चीज यदि हमारे जीवन में
that
लानी है,
if we want these six qualities in our lives, then what is the easy way to imbibe the same? So I would say yes. Only if we do one thing,
प्रकट हो जाएगी।
then these six things will appear automatically in our lives. And what is that one thing?
सुनेंगे,
That we are going to discuss in today's Katha, and we will start our Katha from there. So, before we start the Katha with love and emotion, let's remember the Lord, let's venerate Him, and seek His blessings and mercy with emotion.
रमण जय जय नवल किशोर, जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभो, जय जय माखन चोर, जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित
Hare Krishna.
भगवत कथा अनुरागी
I welcome all the loving devotees of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the attendees, devotees.
सभा को परम
I
सुशोभित करने वाले
also welcome with warm gratitude
श्री राम कथा रसिक
the loving devotees of Lord Sri Ram, all the senior
दूर
devotees.
दूर से,
I also welcome you all
देश विदेश से
who have gathered from all the parts of the world through the medium of Govind TV, Facebook, YouTube, etc.
इस कथा का श्रवण करने वाले
All the listeners
श्रोतागण एवं
and
ये सुंदर भागवत कथा का
the organizers of this
कथा का
beautiful Ram Katha, the organizers,
और
the residents of Bharat
निवासी
and Doha, Qatar,
समग्र बाली
the
परिवार,
whole Bali family,
जिनमें प्रमुख हैं
in
रमेश
which
कुमार बाली,
prime are Ramesh Kumar Bali, Seema Bali,
सुपुत्र मनीष,
their son Manish,
अगत,
Agat, Veronica,
और कतार से
and from Qatar,
बाली,
Shweta Bali
भाई बाबू,
and Abhay Babu.
आप सभी भक्तों का
I welcome you all
श्री राम कथा के
on
द्वितीय दिवस में
the second day of this Ram Katha.
हार्दिक स्वागत
I
एवं
welcome you all and
सबके चरणों में
please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
जय सिया राम।
Jai Siya Ram.
परम सौभाग्य है
We are extremely fortunate
संसार में
that in this world
साधारण दूल्हे और दुल्हन के विवाह में तो हम
we
पार्टिसिपेंट होते ही
participate in the marriage of honorary bride and groom
लोगों के विवाह में
in this material world.
भाग लेते ही हैं,
So we
जाते ही हैं।
take part in the
लेकिन
marriage of
के इस पावन
ordinary
पर्व में
people. But on this auspicious occasion of Ram Navami,
भाग लेने का
we are participating
प्राप्त हुआ है।
in the marriage of Lord Sri Ram himself, we have got this extreme fortune, and I'm seeing quite a few new people have joined in this katha. Our Nidhi Mata is here with 100% attendance to attend the marriage of Lord Sitaram. Nartaki Shiromani Mataji, Nalini Mataji, although she is not well, but still, as it's the marriage of the Lord, so many devotees from all the parts of the world have gathered to listen to this katha. I am extremely fortunate. So let's not take more time. So we have started that when Lord Ramchandra has reached Janakpuri and he is mesmerized by the beauty
देखा पुर नर
of
नारी शुभग शुचि संता
Janakpuri
धर्मशील।
and how
जनकपुर के लोगों में ये छह वस्तु थी,
so
सुंदर थे,
there are six qualities
सरल
in the
स्वभाव के,
people of
धर्मशील,
Mithilapuri.
नित्य सेवा में लगे हुए थे, विवेकी थे,
They were
गुणवंत थे।
beautiful inward, outwardly. They
इतने
had
सारे
divine
गुण यदि
qualities.
हम हासिल करेंगे तो
They
भगवान के
had
दर्शन
performed devotional service towards the Lord and
ऐसे
had
होंगे
knowledge
अगर
and
हमारे
were
पास
filled with many, many qualities. And if we all imbibe
लेकिन
these
इनमें से
qualities,
एक
then
गुण
we
को
need not to
जीवन
visit the
में प्राप्त
Lord,
करना कठिन
but the
है।
Lord will visit us. But
इतने
just to
सारे
imbibe
गुण
one
कैसे आए?
quality in us is
श्रीमद्
difficult. So,
भागवत
how are we
पंचम
going
स्कंद के
to achieve
18वें
these
अध्याय
six
के 12वें
qualities? So, in
श्लोक
Srimad
में
Bhagavatam, 5th canto,
श्री
18th
सुखदेव
chapter, and
गोस्वामी
12th
महाराज
verse,
निवेदन करते
Sri
हैं
Shukdev Goswami beautifully
कि हम केवल
describes
एक काम करेंगे ना,
if we
केवल
do
एक
only one
करेंगे
thing,
तो ये सारे गुण हमारे
then
अंदर अपने आप आ
we
जाएंगे।
automatically will imbibe all
एक
these
काम
good
की बात
qualities.
है,
So, this is
हमें
something
जल्दी नहीं
important.
चाहिए,
In Kali Yuga, we need
एक
such
काम करने से ये
solutions
सारे गुण अपने
that
आप खींचे
by just
जाएंगे।
doing one thing, we can imbibe these
जैसे गाय
qualities.
के पीछे बछड़ा
As
बिन बुलाए
if there is
चलता
a
है,
cow, the calf
वैसे एक
walks
कार्य
behind
करने से
her.
ये सारे
So,
गुण
if we
अपने
do
आप
one
खींचते
work,
हैं, वो
then we
करने
will
वाला
have
क्या
all
है?
these six qualities in our lives. And what exactly is that work?
यस्यास्ति भक्ति भगवन्य किंचना सर्वे गुणे तत्र समासते सुरा हराव भक्त स्यकुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेना सती धावतोर्बहि यस्य अस्ति यस्य माने जिसमें अस्ति
Yasya
माने
means in which
तो यस्य
is present.
जिसमें
So,
भक्ति है
bhakti. So, a
किसकी
person
भक्ति
who has devotional service,
भक्ति
whose
भगवान की भक्ति
bhakti or
भगवान
devotional
कौन
service,
भगवान
that is
कृष्ण या
Bhagwan,
भगवान राम
that is
या भगवान
Lord
विष्णु
Ram or Lord Shri Krishna.
तो यस्य भगवत भक्ति अस्ति जिस किसी व्यक्ति में
So,
मनुष्य में
those
भगवान राम
persons
कृष्ण
or
या विष्णु की
those
भक्ति अगर
humans
है
who have
लेकिन एक
devotional
शर्त
service
है
towards the Lord, but
भक्ति तो
there
सब
is
करने
one
लगे हैं
condition here.
लेकिन वो
So, we
भक्ति
all are
कैसी
performing
करें
devotional service,
तो एक
but
शर्त
how
रखी
that
गई
devotional service should
किंचना
be? They have kept one condition, and that is a
सो यस्य
kinchana.
भगवत भक्तिर अस्ति जिसमें भगवान
So,
राम
those who
कृष्ण या
have
विष्णु की
devotional
भक्ति
service
है
towards the
लेकिन वो
Supreme
भक्ति
Personality of
कैसी है
Godhead,
अकिंचन
Lord Krishna or Lord Ram,
अकिंचन माने
but that should
बिना
be a
स्वार्थ की
kinchan,
भक्ति
that is without any ulterior
कभी कभी
motive.
हम लोग भक्ति करते हैं
Sometimes we perform devotional
और
service,
अज्ञान के कारण
but
इतनी
because of our
इतनी
ignorance,
बड़ी भक्ति करने के बाद
although by performing
ऐसा
such
ख्याल
great
आता है
devotional service,
कि हमको
what do we
या कोई जॉब या
desire?
पैसा धंधा बिजनेस मिल जाए
We desire wealth,
लेकिन ये
opulence,
तो लॉस का
home,
धंधा है
or car, etc.
हैं?
So that is
ये
a
बड़ा लॉस
business
है
of loss.
लेकिन यदि मन में कोई स्वार्थ नहीं है
If we don't
धन
have
अर्थ
any
धन
desire.
ऐसी अकिंचन भक्ति भगवान के प्रति,
And when we have this desireless devotional service towards the Lord, then what will happen is mentioned in the second line, Sarva Gune. So all the divine transcendental qualities which are mentioned in the verse below, the 6 qualities that we discussed, so all these, Sura means divine, so all these qualities will be present in a person who performs devotional service towards the Lord without any desire or ulterior motive.
गुण अपने आप प्रकट हो जाते हैं। इसलिए कृष्ण भक्त राम भक्तों को
Therefore, a devotee of the Lord need not to work on other qualities just by performing devotional service. It has such potency that automatically these qualities manifest in us. And these people of Janakpur had these beautiful qualities, and Lord Sri Ram, along with Vishwamitra ji, is walking. And when he entered Janakpuri, then everybody started discussing that in Janakpuri, Maharishi Vishwamitra has arrived with 2 princes, and everybody started chit-chatting with each other.
वायु वेग से फैल जाता है।
So this information was spreading like air, and somehow it reached the ear of King Janak. And when Janakji realized that the sage Vishwamitra is here, then what happened? Goswamiji beautifully describes here in this verse.
विश्वामित्र महामुनियाये, विश्वामित्र महामुनियाये, समाचार मिथिला पति पाए, समाचार मिथिला पति पाए। बहुत सुंदर बात है कि विश्वामित्र महामुनि आए, समाचार मिथिलापति पाए।
When the king of Mithila, Janakji, received this news that Vishwamitra Muni is here, and how is Vishwamitra? He is described as Mahamuni.
एक होते हैं मौनी,
One
बिल्कुल
is
चुपचाप बैठे रहता है,
Mauni, who just keep themselves mute because they don't know how to speak. And if they speak, then people will understand. So it's better to be mute. The second is Muni, the person who contemplates, who day in and day night contemplates on the name form of the Lord. So that person is called Muni. So there is one Mani who is a mute, second is Muni who contemplates constantly on the name, form and pastimes of the Lord, and the third is Maha Muni. Srila Prabhupada in 7th canto 14th chapter 2nd verse in Srimad Bhagavatam's purport, he writes, Mahamuni
मौनी
means
माने मौन, मुनि माने मनन करने वाला, और महामुनि का अर्थ होता है जो रात दिन 24 घंटा भगवान का मनन तो करता है,
so
लेकिन
he not only contemplates the name, forms, and pastimes of the Lord, but he also engages in performing devotional service towards the Lord. That person is referred to as Mahamuni, a person who not only contemplates on the Lord, but he's also charitable and always thinks of the welfare of humanity at large. So we should not associate ourselves with money. We should not associate with Muni. Srila Prabhupada ji writes, we should associate ourselves with Mahamuni, especially the householders. Narad Muni had given a beautiful principle at the time of Rajsu Yajna when Yudhishthir Maharaj asked, "Oh, Narad Muni, a person like me who is entangled in this household life, who day and night is entangled in this material world, such foolish householder, what should we do? Attain the Lord." This is what King Yudhishthir asked Narad Muni. And Narad Muni replies, O king, householder should remain in the householder fold of life and fulfill the responsibilities of the household life. And whatever work he does, he should offer it to Lord Vasudev through work, mind, body, and senses. You should offer everything to Lord Narayan or Vasudev. And if you feel that this is difficult, unable to achieve, then you need not to worry. You should just do one thing. And he says, Upasit Mahamunin. It is a great principle. We householders, what more can we do when it's time to give money? We feel that our body is soul is leaving the body. So what are we going to do? We are so much entangled in this human life. We don't have that much time. Therefore, Narad beautifully says you need not to worry. You can do only one thing. Up means to sit near whom? Mahamunin. That means that we should sit near to Mahamuni because we will get positive vibration and our life will become great. So, it is a beautiful principle for householders that they should invite Mahamuni or they should visit Mahamunis and associate with them, sit near them at their lotus feet, and
श्रद्धानो यथा काल उपशांत जनावृत, उस महामुनियों के मुख से भगवत
from their mouth we should listen to the pastimes of the Lord. That is what Narad Muni has advised to householders. And Lord Sri Ram has already imbibed this even before he got married. So Ramji is still a bachelor, yet what he is doing, he is associating with Vishwamitra Mahamuni. He is serving him, is in association with him, and listen to the pastimes of the Lord. So Lord is portraying through his behavior what a householder should do. So when Janakji realized that Mahamuni Vishwamitra has arrived in his kingdom, so Goswami Tulsidas ji says, he is writing that the news came to Mithilapati. So now let's understand this word Mithilapati. So whoever were the kings in Mithilapati, they have a history behind them because of the curse of Vishishtu. Nimi Maharaj's body was destroyed. So this is the history.
ऋषि के श्राप से निमि महाराज के शरीर का पतन हो गया। और फिर जब उस राज्य में अराजकता
And
आ
when
गई, कोई राजा नहीं
the,
बचा,
there was no king
तो
and
ऋषियों ने
the
निमि
citizens
महाराज
became
के शरीर का
destitute,
मंथन किया।
so his body
निमि
was
महाराज के शरीर के मंथन से एक पुत्र उत्पन्न हुआ और फिर उस पुत्र
churned,
से
and by churning
वो
the
मिथिलापुरी
body
की
of Nimi
राजधानी
Maharaj,
चली।
from there a son
इसलिए
was born, and
निमि
through that
महाराज के शरीर का मंथन
the
करने से
ancestry
पुत्र
of
प्रकट हुआ
Mithila
और उसी से
kingdom
राजा की परंपरा चली।
started.
इसलिए
Therefore,
जनकपुर में जितने भी राजा होते हैं,
all the kings of Janakpuri get
पहली
three
मिथिलेश, जनकपुर में जो भी राजा होते हैं सबको
addresses. First
मिथिलेश
is
कहा जाता है।
Mithilesh.
इसलिए थोड़ी सी कंफ्यूजन है। श्रीमद्
So there
भागवत
is
में
always a confusion.
जनक
In
राजा को
Srimad Bhagavatam, also,
मिथिलेश का वर्णन
Janak
है,
is
लेकिन वो
also
अलग है।
referred to as Mithilesh, but he is
जनकपुर
something,
में
someone
जितने
else.
भी राजा होते हैं
So
उनकी
whoever is
परंपरा
the
जो
king
बाय
in
डिफॉल्ट होती
Mithila,
है
so
उसे
they have
मिथिलेश कहते
three
हैं।
forms of address.
अच्छा,
First
मिथिलेश
is Mithilesh. Why
मिथि
is
का
their
अर्थ
address
है
as Mithilesh?
मंथन।
Mithi means to
तो
churn.
निमि महाराज के शरीर का
So
मंथन
because
करके जो ले
of the
आए
churning of Nimi Maharaj,
इसलिए नाम हुआ मिथिलेश।
therefore they refer to as
दूसरा
Mithilesh.
दूसरी
Second,
उपाधि है जनक।
Janak.
जनक जो है ना, ये कोई नाम नहीं है,
So Janak is not the name.
स्पेसिफिक नाम नहीं है।
It's
जनक
not a
एक
specific
उपाधि
name.
है।
Janak
जनक
is a
माने
form of
पिता
address.
के
Janak
केवल
means
पिता के शरीर से जन्म लिए
only
इसलिए उसको
because
जनक
they were
कहते हैं।
born through the body of their
वो माता
father,
पिता के
therefore
रंग से
they're
नहीं हुए,
called Janak.
पिता के शरीर का मंथन
So they
किया
didn't
और परंपरा
came
प्रकट
into
हुई,
existence because of
इसलिए जनक उपाधि हुई।
their mother and father coming together, but
इनकी उत्पत्ति मैथिली से
because
नहीं हुई, किसी
of the
देह से
father,
उत्पत्ति नहीं हुई,
and because they were
इसलिए इनको
not
कहते हैं
created
विदेह।
by any body,
ये
therefore
तीन उपाधि हैं, मिथिलेश, जनक और
they
विदेह।
are
मिथिलेश
called Videha.
शरीर के मंथन
So
से
they are
उसका
referred or
जन्म
addressed
हुआ।
as Mithilesh,
जनक माने
Janak, and Videha.
केवल पिता
So
से
Mithilesh
जिसका
means
जन्म हुआ
the person who was
और
born because of
विदेह
churning of
माने
the body,
दो
and
देह के
Janak
दो
because
देह
he
से
was born
जिसका
from the
जन्म
body
हुआ,
of the father,
विदेह केवल
and
अकेले देह से जिसका जन्म हुआ। इसलिए ये तीन
who
उपाधि
was
जनक
born
के राजा को
by
प्राप्त हुई
one body and not two
और फिर
bodies.
आगे चलकर जनकपुर
And
के
further,
के राजाओं पर
the
ऋषि मुनियों
kings
का बहुत
of
आशीर्वाद रहा
Janakpuri
और इसलिए
got so
ये जो
much blessings
उपाधि
and
थी उस
mercy
उपाधि के अनुसार
of
उन
the
राजाओं
sages,
में
and
जो
then
गुण प्रकट हो गए,
and
विवाह
these qualities started
उनके
manifesting
आशीर्वाद
in
से
them.
वहाँ के राजा ज्ञानी योगी
So they
विद्वान बने।
became
ये अलग बात है।
knowledgeable
बाकी
scholars,
मिथिलेश,
devotees of the
जनक और
Lord,
विदेह ये
but
तीन नाम
these
नहीं, ये तीन
are
उपाधि
not
है।
names, but
तो
these
फिर आप
are
कहोगे
the form of
सीता
address
माता के पिताजी का
or
नाम क्या था?
designation. So you may ask, what
सीता
is
जी
the
के
name of
पिता का
Sita
नाम
ji's
ना
father?
मिथिलेश था, सीता जी के पिता
Her
का नाम
father's name was
जनक
not
भी नहीं था,
Mithilesh, nor
और
was
सीता
he
जी के
Janak.
पिता का नाम विदेह भी नहीं था। ये
He
तीन जो
is not
उपाधि है,
even Videh, because
तो
they
सीता
are
जी के
the
पिता का एक्चुअल नाम
form of
शीरध्वज
address.
है।
His actual name is Kshiradhwaj,
शीरध्वज। इनके छोटे भाई हैं कुशध्वज।
and his younger
अगर
brother.
आए हैं सीता जी के गांव में तो सब जान लीजिए। हमारी सीता मैया के चाचा जी जो है काका, उसका नाम है कुशध्वज और सीता जी के पिता का नाम है शीरध्वज। तो एक्चुअल उनके पासपोर्ट
Her
में,
father is Kshiradhwaj.
रेशन कार्ड में सीता जी के पिता का नाम
So
है
in their Aadhaar card, ration card, his name is Kshiradhwaj.
शीरध्वज है,
The
लेकिन
actual
जिस
name
नाम
is
से वो राजा
Kshiradhwaj,
बनता है
but
उसको तीन
because he
उपाधि
is the
मिलती है,
king of Mithila,
मिथिलेश,
he
जनक,
is addressed as
आगे
Mithilesh,
चलकर जितने भी
Janak,
राजा
and
हुए
Videh.
उन
And
सबको
further,
जनक
also,
कहा गया,
everybody
सबको जनक कहा
who
गया,
became the king
सबको
is
विदेह
referred to
कहा गया।
as Janak, Mithilesh,
तो जब भी आप
and
जनक सुनते हैं,
Janak.
विदेह
So
सुनते हैं,
whenever
विदेह
you
सुनते हैं,
see
मतलब वहां के
listen Janak Vide, then you should understand that these are the kings of Mithila. But who is the king? The specific king we need to understand. So if we say Shridhwaj, then only it implies the father of Sita ji.
जितने भी राजा हुए उन सभी राजाओं में फेमस जो थे
So who all
सीता जी के पिता ही हुए।
are the famous one of this kings of Mithila? Because he was famous as he's the son, he's the father of Sita ji.
ईश्वरीय कहा जाता है, विदेह कहा
Therefore, he is referred to as Janak, Mithilesh, Videha, etc.
पाए। सो ऐसे शिरध्वज राजा
So such king Shirdhwaj, the father of Sita ji, got this news that in his kingdom the great sage Vishwamitra has arrived. So what has he done? A person would have thought, so a rich person would have thought that they will send their daughter that to welcome this. I'm busy in making the arrangements for marriage, or they send secretary, or they send their someone. But great is King Janak because he's the father of Sita ji. Just see his behavior. Because Swami Tulsidas ji beautifully describes
भूरी भट भूसर बर गुरु ज्ञाति चले मिलन मुनि नायक ही चले मिलन मुनि नायक ही मुदित राव यही भांति मुदित राव यही भांति। बहुत सुंदर प्रसंग है कि जब वैसे नाम शिरध्वज है,
so his name is Shiradhwaj, but the famous name is Janakapati. So King Shiradhwaj, the father of Sita ji, when he realized that Mahamuni Vishwamitra has arrived to his kingdom, he didn't send his son or his follower or servant, but to welcome Vishwamitra, to receive him, he, the king of Mithila, Shirdhwaj, walks himself to welcome him. And he not only comes, he comes along with the whole society. This Ramayana teaches us how to live. So, what you learn as Vaishnav etiquette, there is nothing far greater than Ramayana which portrays the same. In our home, village, town,
संत कोई गुरु कोई महात्मा आया,
if a sage
सबसे पहले हमें स्वयं चलकर उनके पास जाना चाहिए।
arrives, so first we should go and meet them. And not only that, we should not only go alone, we should take our whole family along with us. And we should try to take as many people as we can. That is a behavior, that is the behavior described in the Vedic scriptures. So the king Shirdhwaj, the son of the father of Sita ji, whom has he bought? It's mentioned in the verse Sachiva Shuchi. So he bought his ministers along with him. And he has given the adjective for the minister as well. Shuchi means pure or pious. So we need to understand, in our life, we should have a minister. So a mantri means when we are in a situation where our mind doesn't work, then if someone can give us some counsel or advice, we which is for our well being and welfare, not for any selfish motive, but for our welfare, that is called
रखते थे कृष्ण
mantri.
के मंत्री थे उद्धव.
So Krishna's mantri was Uddhav.
तो यहाँ पर महाराज जनक अपने मंत्री को, और वो मंत्री कैसा होना चाहिए? शुचि, पवित्र होना चाहिए. अब
And
आजकल तो क्या
how
हो गया ना,
should that counsel be? He should be pure. So nowadays, that's what happened. There's so much effect of Kali Yuga that the people who give counsel, even if someone is doing to do some good work, but they get such a bad counsel that they destroy their lives. So that we should learn from the Shastras. Vamanji came at the door of Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj wanted to be charitable, but what did Shukracharya advise? That he should not be charitable. But Bali Maharaj let go of his spiritual master. He used his own wisdom. Sometimes it so happens the people who give us counsel or advice for their ulterior motive or selfish reasons, they give us bad counsel. And at that time, we should try to use our intelligence and judge. But nowadays, the effect of Maya is so much that
और उनके आश्रय में जो है वो दूसरों की कथा
one
सुनने,
speaker doesn't listens to the other speaker, and they don't even allow other their listeners to listen to others. So this is the age of Kali. You should not listen to him or that. So this is the counsel they receive. If you watch a movie, that's not a problem. But if you listen to the Katha, then the spiritual master will get upset or angry. But we're talking about the word Shuchi. So the minister with Janakji was, so we also should have a counselor in our lives. And how should they be? They should be pure. It should not be that for their own selfish reasons they destroy the devotional life or progress of their disciples.
जनक जी अपने पवित्र मंत्री को साथ में लाए, और फिर किसको लाए? भूरी
And
भट्ट.
along with that, whom has he bought? Bhuri Bhatt. Bhuri Bhatt here implies
सेना को साथ में लाए,
he bought his beautiful army.
जो बड़े बड़े योद्धा थे,
So the great warriors in his kingdom, he has bought them. And then third is Bhusarbar.
अच्छे ब्राह्मणों को अपने साथ लेकर आए.
And he bought great brahmanas with him. And the fifth is Gur, that is Janakji's spiritual master, that is Shatanand Maharaj.
गुरु को भी साथ में लेकर,
So he had bought Shatanand Maharaj as well, along with him.
महामुनि विश्वामित्र आए हैं. तो शतानंद जी भी अच्छे थे. आजकल के गुरु
So Shatanand ji also is good. He would, spiritual master will say that why I should accompany you. If someone has arrived in your village, then you should go and meet them. But great is Shatanandji, who has accompanied King Janak along with him to welcome Vishwamitra. And then lastly he adds Gyati.
जनक जी के भाई, बंधु, मित्र,
So
सखा,
all the relatives, friends, acquaintances of Janakji. So he brought the whole society along with him.
भूरी भट्ट, भूसरबर, गुरु और ज्ञाति, इन सब को साथ में लेकर चले मिलन मुनि नायक ही, मुदित राव यही भाती. और महाराज जनक कैसे मिलने जा रहे हैं? मुदित
So
राव, प्रसन्न.
how is he going? He is going happily. If someone comes to our home, we should not welcome them in a distressed mood or sad mood. We should welcome them in a happy, jestful manner. And here, Janakji is welcoming Mahamuni Vishwamitra. So there is one point, so let me share it with you. He has bought his spiritual master Shatanand to welcome Vishwamitra.
अब यही विश्वामित्र कुछ
And this Vishwamitra quite a few days back has gone to
तो यही महामुनि
Ayodhya
है, यही महामुनि है,
to
ये जब
take
अयोध्या गए
Ram
उस
and
समय
Lakshman,
दशरथ जी ने उनका स्वागत
and
किया था।
at that time
तो
Dashrath ji
महाराज कैसे
welcomed,
स्वागत कर रहे हैं विश्वामित्र
as
का,
Janak ji
उसी
is
तरीके से
welcoming
दशरथ जी ने स्वागत किया।
him. Similarly,
लेकिन
Dashrath ji
वहां
also
ऐसा
did the same.
वर्णन है
But it
कि
is
जब
mentioned there,
आगमन सुना जब राजा, आप देख सकते हैं
you can see in this
कि
verse,
अयोध्या में जब विश्वामित्र आए
when
तो
Vishwamitra
कहा
enters
गया
Ayodhya Puri,
कि
it is
मुनि
mentioned,
माने विश्वामित्र,
Muni means Vishwamitra
विश्वामित्र का आगमन हुआ सुना
here,
जब दशरथ राजा, राजा
when he
दशरथ ने
arrived,
सुना
and when
तो
King
मिलन
Dashrath
के
heard about
लिए
the same,
मित्र समाजा। तो दशरथ जी केवल
so
मित्र
he
समाज को लेकर,
took
ब्राह्मणों को
only
लेकर
the Brahmanas with
विश्वामित्र
him
का स्वागत करने गए।
to welcome
और नीचे देखिए जनक
Vishwamitra.
जी के पास जब
But here,
विश्वामित्र आए
when Janak ji
तो
welcomes
अपने गुरु को
Vishwamitra,
साथ में लेकर
he
स्वागत
has
करने गए।
he has
देखिए
taken
प्रश्न हो सकता है,
his spiritual
दोनों
master.
विवाह
uh,
होते हैं ना, समधी होते हैं ना,
So they both are
तो
going to
दोनों
be
समाजों में
in-laws.
इतना डिफरेंस क्यों?
So there is a difference between these
कि
two.
भाई
And why?
राम जी के पिता विश्वामित्र का
Ramji's
स्वागत
father
करें तो केवल ब्राह्मणों को लेकर
welcomed
के, और जनक जी
Vishwamitra
स्वागत
by
करते
just
हैं तो इन
bringing Brahmanas with him.
शतानंद जी को साथ
But
में लेकर।
Janak is
तो
bringing
यहाँ पर
his spiritual
समझने
master
की बात
along.
ये है
So there is one point that we
कि
should
शतानंद
understand.
जी जो है वो गौतम
This
ऋषि के पुत्र हैं,
Shatanan is
और
the
बुद्धि
son
की
of
दृष्टि से,
Gautam
और
Muni.
बुद्धि की दृष्टि से
And in vision of
शतानंद जी
a
से
perspective of
विश्वामित्र महान है।
devotional service
क्योंकि विश्वामित्र
and
शतानंद जी
age,
से महान है,
he is
इसलिए राजा जनक जी
junior,
अपने गुरु शतानंद जी को साथ में लेकर गए
and therefore he is
विश्वामित्र का
accompanying
स्वागत करने के लिए।
him to welcome
लेकिन दशरथ जी के
Vishwamitra.
केस में क्या था?
But in
दशरथ जी के
Dasharathji's
गुरु कौन
case,
है?
Dasharathji's
वशिष्ठ
guru
ऋषि।
is Vashisht Muni,
और वशिष्ठ ऋषि और
and
विश्वामित्र के
Vashisht
बीच में
Muni
क्या संबंध है?
and Vishwamitra. What is the
इसी
relationship
वजह
between
से
these two?
वशिष्ठ ऋषि महान है कि
Vishwamitra.
महाराज दशरथ में ये विवेक है ना, ये सब
So
जीवन में एटिकेट
Maharaj
सीखना
Dashrath
होता है
has this wisdom. So we need to understand
कि
this
हम भी
etiquette.
हमारे गुरु को किस सिचुएशन में लेकर जा
So
सकते हैं।
in which situation we should
कुछ लोग गुरु का
take
इतना माथा खाते हैं,
our
हाँ भाई गुरु
spiritual
तो ठीक
master.
है, लेकिन ये भी तो समझना चाहिए ना
Sometimes
कि भाई जनक जी अपने गुरु को लेकर गए तो हम भी
Janak
गुरु
ji
को
took
लेकर
his
जाएंगे,
spiritual master, so we
इसी
should
वजह
also
से हमें
take.
गुरु को ले
But in
जाना
which
चाहिए,
situation we
नहीं
should
ले जाना
take
चाहिए।
him and in which
तो
situation we should
जनक जी
not.
गुरु को लेकर
That
गए, वो नीचे आप
wisdom or
देखिए
intelligence we should have.
ऊपर देख सकते हैं दशरथ जी नहीं लेकर गए, क्योंकि जनक जी के गुरु से
Because
विश्वामित्र सीनियर है।
Janak ji's
जनक जी अपने गुरु को
spiritual
लेकर जा सकते हैं,
master is junior
लेकिन यहाँ
for
पर
Vishwamitra.
दशरथ के जो
But
गुरु हैं
here
वशिष्ठ,
Dashrath
वो
ji's
विश्वामित्र से
spiritual
ज्यादा
master
सीनियर है।
is senior to
तो
Vishwamitra.
जो आया है अपने राज्य में,
So
उसकी
a person who
अग्रगति
is
करने के
here
लिए
to welcome
उससे
them,
सीनियर व्यक्ति को हम कैसे साथ में ले जा
we
सकते हैं?
cannot take a senior
हाँ, एटिकेट तो
person
सीखना
there.
होगा हमें।
So we need to understand this etiquette
इसलिए महाराज
here.
दशरथ
Therefore,
वशिष्ठ जी को
King
कहे,
Dashrath
वो कहना भी
didn't
अपना हो
even
जाएगा,
told Vishwamitra to
समझना चाहिए,
Vishisht to
वो कहना भी अपना हो
accompany,
जाएगा।
because that also will be an offense
दशरथ स्वयं
to
अपने
him.
ब्राह्मणों को लेकर, परिवार को लेकर
He took his
वशिष्ठ
family
जी
and
को स्वागत
Brahmanas
किए।
to welcome
तो इस
Vishwamitra.
प्रकार से
So in this manner,
महाराज जनक शिरध्वज राजा
Maharaj Janak or Shiridhwaj king
ये पूरे साज समाज को
came
लेकर
with
विश्वामित्र
all
के
these
पास
people
पहुंचते हैं,
to welcome
और
Vishwamitra.
क्या करते हैं?
And what does he do once he reaches there? It is mentioned beautifully here.
कीन्ह प्रणाम चरण धरि माथा, कीन्ह प्रणाम चरण धरि माथा, कीन्ह प्रणाम चरण धरि माथा, दीन यशीष मुदित मुनिनाथा, दीन यशीष मुदित मुनिनाथा। महाराज जनक जब महर्षि विश्वामित्र के
So
पास
King
पहुंचे,
Janak, when reached to meet Vishwamitra, then beautifully he bowed down at the lotus feet of the sage.
बहुत सुंदर सिद्धांत है
So this is a beautiful philosophical point here.
बड़े राजाओं के तख्त
Those big king
झुकते थे,
used to bow down at the lotus feet of great sages and saints.
लेकिन लोक मत के साथ साथ संत मत
There
भी
used to be democracy, but along with that, they used to have opinion or perspective of the sages and saints as well.
के समय में
But today,
देखते हैं
in today's world,
केवल लोक
we see
रह गया है,
we just have democracy.
चला गया है।
There is no opinion
तो महाराज जनक
of great sages and saints. So Janakji bows down at the lotus feet.
एक बहुत सुंदर विधि है कि
So there is a process here as well,
नहीं थे,
because Vishwamitraji was not alone. He had so many sages accompanying him.
प्रणाम किया,
So how did he bow down?
चरण धरी माथा। महाराज जनक ने दंडवत
So Maharaj
करते हुए अपना
Janak
मुनि
did
विश्वामित्र
Dandvat Pranam
में धर
and put his head on the lotus feet of
हम तो दो ही
the
प्रणाम
sage.
सीखे हैं, एक पंचांग प्रणाम, आधा प्रणाम जो माता ने
So
करनी है,
we have just
और एक अष्टांग
learnt
प्रणाम
two pranam, that is Panchang and Ashtang.
लेकिन तीसरा प्रणाम है,
But the third is
प्रणाम तो करना है,
we should do Ashtang Pranam, but we should do it that
वाले के चरणों में टच हो जाए।
our
यहाँ पर
head should touch the
अपने
feet
मस्तक को
of the sage. So here Janakji
प्रणाम कर रहे हैं।
touches his head at the feet of Vishwamitraji. And the four reasons are because of humility. He has so much humility that he has touched his head on the feet of the spiritual master. And then there is so much devotional service
अपना मस्तक उनके चरणों में रख रहे हैं।
that he keeps his head on the feet.
पॉइंट मैं आपको बताऊं,
And there is an important point that I want to share. In Manusmriti, Manu Maharaj writes
करने की यही विधि है,
that actually this is the process to bow down.
दंडवत करें जब हम
That when we offer our obeisances, our head
प्रणाम करते हैं, उनके
should
चरणों को टच हो जाए,
touch the feet of the person to whom we are
तो कहते हैं
offering our obeisances.
धरी माथा, उनके उनके चरणों में अपना मस्तक रखकर प्रणाम किए। कोई बात नहीं, आप कैसे भी प्रणाम करो, लेकिन
So no matter how you bow down,
करते हैं,
but when we bow down,
शरीर झुकने से पहले हमारा दिल
before our body
में झुक जाना चाहिए।
bows down, our heart should bow down. But what happens with us is that
केवल
although we bow down, but it is just an exercise.
महिमा तो कुछ और ही है,
The glory of our
झुकते हैं ताकि उनके चरण को अच्छे से,
obeisances is something different.
उनके चरण को अच्छे से टांग खींच सके, इसलिए हम झुकते हैं।
We bow down at the feet so that we can pull their leg.
और भरत का मिलन हो रहा है, मतलब सदियों के बाद ये बंदे मिल रहे हैं।
Sometimes people meet and embrace in such a manner that we feel that Lakshman and Bharat are meeting. But there is so much enmity, animosity, envy,
दबाकर मारना चाहते
and it feels that as if Dhritarashtra is trying to kill Bhim.
हैं, आप लोग तो बड़े
In the life of devotee, you all are very pure and pious. But sometimes in the life of a devotee,
देखा गया कि
physically we see that they bow down,
गले मिल रहे हैं,
offer obeisance and embrace each other, but
दिल में नहीं होता है।
it's not there in their heart.
दूसरी ओर बाहर
On other hand,
करो या न करो, दिल में वो भाव होना चाहिए।
no matter whether you bow down or not, but you should have that respect in
पहले हमारा
your heart.
रुक जाए। सो इस प्रकार से बहुत सुंदर महाराज जनक प्रणाम करते हैं।
So beautifully here, Janakji offers his obeisances to Vishwamitraji, and Vishwamitraji
क्या होता है, हम
bestows his mercy and blessing. So let's take a break
हरे
and then we will continue.
कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna. So once again, very grateful to Prabhuji for delivering such a wonderful Hari Katha that we are all longing for actually. तो बहुत ही सुंदर आज द्वितीय दिवस की कथा प्रारंभ हुई कि there are 6 things, 6 चीजें हैं जिससे कि हम भगवान के और नजदीक आ सकते हैं, इसे प्रभु जी ने बताया। और साथ ही साथ बहुत सुंदर ये बात भी बताई कि कैसे वो 6 चीज मिथिला के अंदर थी। तो प्रभु जी ने यही सुंदर बात बताई आज प्रथम सत्र के अंतर्गत, जिसमें हमने सुभग के भाई जो मिथिला के सब निवासी थे बहुत ही सुंदर थे, और साथ ही साथ शुचि, दे वर एब्सोल्युटली पायस इन एंड आउट, अंदर और बाहर दे वर पवित्र थे। और उसके साथ साथ संत साधु स्वभाव के थे, सरल थे सब लोग। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया सरल के ऊपर कि कैसे ये जो शब्द है इसमें कोई मात्रा कुछ नहीं है, दैट इज वाई इट इज कॉल्ड सरल। तो सब विभक्तों को सरलता के माध्यम से ही भगवान मिल जाते हैं। यदि व्यक्ति हैज अ सिंप्लिसिटी, सिंप्लिसिटी एक ऐसा गुण है जिससे कि भगवान आकर्षित होते हैं। तो यहाँ पर ये गुण हमारे मिथिला के निवासी जो भक्त थे सभी उनके अंदर ये गुण पाया गया। और इसी के साथ बहुत सुंदर ज्ञानी भी थे, धर्मशील भी थे, धर्म का ज्ञान रखने वाले थे, साथ ही साथ ज्ञानी थे और गुणवताम। तो ये कुछ 6 चीज प्रभु जी ने बहुत सुंदर बताई कि ये 6 क्वालिटीज हमारे जो मिथिला के निवासी थे उनके अंदर थी, जिसके कारण भगवान चलकर वहां पर गए। और साथ ही साथ ये भी हमें जानने को मिला कि कैसे भगवान, यदि हमारे अंदर ये कोई गुण नहीं है और हम चाहते हैं कि भगवान हमारे पास आए, हमें भी ये अंदर ये सारी क्वालिटीज हमारे अंदर भी आए। तो बहुत सुंदर वह श्लोक बताया श्रीमद् भागवतम का कि यश यस्ति भक्ति भगवती किंचना, जो व्यक्ति भगवान कृष्ण की भक्ति करता है, और भगवान श्री कृष्ण की भक्ति में शरण लेता है, उसके अंदर ये सारे गुण ऑटोमेटिक डेवलप हो जाते हैं, देवी गुण उनके अंदर विकसित होते हैं, ऐसा कहा भागवत के अंदर। तो ये सारे देवी गुण श्रीमद् भागवतम के अनुसार एक भक्त में पाए जाते हैं जो कि भागवतम की शरण लेता है, भगवान की शरण लेता है। और इसके विपरीत ठीक वह भक्त जिसके अंदर चाहे कितना भी बड़ा क्यों ना हो, कितने भी अच्छे क्वालिटीज क्यों ना हो, बट इफ इज नॉट अ डिवोटी, तो वह स्थान वहां पर जो भक्त है वो विचरण नहीं करते हैं। तो इस प्रकार का वो श्लोक था जो प्रभु जी ने हम सबको आज पुनः स्मरण कराया। और बहुत सुंदर हमें ये जानने को मिला द रियल नेम ऑफ माता सीता के फादर, जिनका नाम प्रभु जी ने हमें बताया कि कैसे वो नाम था, दैट वाज क्षीरध्वज। ऑल दोज वर नेम जो हम जिसे जानते थे, जनक महाराज और विदेह मिथिलेश, ये सारी चीजें इट वाज ऑल बेस्ड ऑन द क्वालिटी, ये गुण थे उन मिथिला निवासी भक्तों के, जिनके अंदर ये सारे गुण थे ही। और इसमें से विशेष ये जनक महाराज जो क्षीरध्वज, वे इनके अंदर ये सुंदर गुण प्रकाशित हुए और वो ज्यादा फेमस हुए। तो ये सुंदर चीज आज हमने इस कथा के माध्यम से जानी। और साथ ही साथ बहुत सुंदर इस कथा में हमने ये भी जाना कि कैसे एक गृहस्थी को क्या करना चाहिए। यह उपदेश हम यहाँ पर श्रवण कर रहे हैं कि भगवान श्री राम जो कि गृह शास्त्र में प्रवेश करने से पहले ही मुनियों का, वैष्णवों का संग कर रहे हैं, और हम भक्तों को भी इसके माध्यम से एक आदर्श स्थापित कर रहे हैं कि हम सबको भी उन परम वैष्णवों का संग करना चाहिए, उनके साथ में बैठकर, उनके साथ में विनम्रता पूर्वक बैठकर उनसे मुख से कथा श्रवण करनी चाहिए, जिससे कि हम सब भी अपने अंदर उस क्वालिटी को डेवलप कर सके। तो ये सुंदर बात हमने भागवतम के माध्यम से तथा भगवान श्री राम ने स्वयं अपने जीवन से चरितार्थ की, जो कि हमने यहाँ पर आज इस कथा के अंतर्गत इस सत्र में हमने श्रवण किया। सो देयर आर वंडरफुल क्वालिटीज डिस्क्राइब, जहाँ पर नारद मुनि बता रहे हैं कि कैसे भगवान की भक्ति करनी चाहिए, और साथ ही साथ महामुनि उनके आसित निकट जाकर बैठना चाहिए, जो प्रभु जी यहाँ पर हम सबको श्रवण करा रहे हैं। सो वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू हिज ग्रेस लालगोविंद प्रभु जी फॉर इस सुंदर कथा को हम सबको रसास्वादन करा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम सब भी गृहस्थी है और हम सबका भी यही कर्तव्य है। भगवान राम अपने जीवन से चरितार्थ कर रहे हैं और हम सबको यही उपदेश आदेश दे रहे हैं। जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया कि यदि हम जैसे हम जनरली वी स्टडी दिस वैष्णव एटिकेट इन आवर टेम्पल जस्ट टू सिस्टमेटिकली प्रोग्रेस इन भक्ति, बट यदि हम भगवान श्री राम का चरित्र भी सुन लेते हैं, दैट इज इनफ इनफ इन द सेंस भगवान श्री राम स्वयं अपने आदर्श से चरितार्थ कर रहे हैं किस प्रकार एक भक्त को अपने जीवन को व्यतीत करना चाहिए। बहुत सुंदर सुंदर क्वालिटीज यहाँ पर हमें प्रभु जी के मुखारविंद से श्रवण करने को मिल रही है और हम सब बड़े ही कृतज्ञ हैं, ऋणी हैं प्रभु जी के कि हमारा ये जो भागवत कथा हम सब श्रवण कर रहे हैं, घर पर बैठकर ये सुंदर गुणों को विकसित कर रहे हैं और एकमात्र वैष्णव प्रभु जी की अनुकंपा है हम सब पर कि जिससे कि हम सब इस सुंदर कथा को श्रवण कर रहे हैं और अपने जीवन को भक्ति में प्रोग्रेस करा रहे हैं। सो थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी। आइए पुनः निवेदन करते हैं श्रीमान लाल गोविंद प्रभु जी से कि इस कथा के शेष भाग को भी श्रवण कराएं। हरे कृष्ण।
कीन्ह प्रणाम चरण धरि माथा, दीन यशीष मुदित मुनिनाथा। महाराज जनक बड़े आदर से, भक्ति से, विनम्रता
King
से
Janak, with all humility
और मनुस्मृति के अनुसार
and according to the principles mentioned in Manusmriti,
अपना मस्तक
following the Vedic injunctions,
मित्र के चरणों में
has
करके
touched his head
करते हैं।
at the feet of Mahamuni Vishwamitra
अब मुनि
and offered his obeisances.
बहुत सारे मुनि
Now,
थे,
there are so many other sages along with Vishwamitra.
प्रणाम किया।
So, all those were also offered
देखो, ऐसी
obeisances by
situation
Janakji.
हमारे जीवन में भी आती हैं। आप
So
लोग
there might be some situation in our life as well. So, if I ask you a question here,
गए या कोई
if you visit a temple or you visit any holy place
सन्यासी खड़े हैं,
and there is a sage
बहुत सारे शिष्य खड़े हैं,
and many of his disciples are standing there
पहुंचे,
and you reach
बड़े
there,
गुरु हैं, उनके
he's a great
शिष्य
spiritual
हैं,
master
वो आपसे भी सीनियर
and
है, वरिष्ठ है,
his disciples are also your seniors.
प्रणाम करेंगे।
So how will you bow down?
प्रणाम तो सबको बनता है,
Because they
तो
all
प्रसंग
should be offered
कर
obeisance.
रहे हैं।
So we can understand from this
जो गुरु है
pastime that a sage,
हमारा मस्तक चरणों को स्पर्श करके
we should touch
प्रणाम करेंगे।
our head
व्यक्तिगत
at the feet of the spiritual master
और अन्य जो उनके शिष्य हैं,
and all other disciples.
एक बार वांछा कल्पतरु करके
We can do collective obeisances
मुनि
by doing
महाराज
Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya.
कर रहे हैं।
That is what Janakji is practicing.
प्रणाम किया,
So he
अन्य जो मुनि थे वो
bowed
हर
down
एक के शिष्य
individually
थे,
at the lotus feet of Vishwamitra
सबको
ji,
एक साथ में ही प्रणाम करते
and the rest he both offered obeisances
को बुरा भी नहीं
collectively, and they didn't felt
हमारे
bad
वरिष्ठ, हमारे सीनियर, हमारे गुरु को प्रणाम कर दिया तो हमारा हो गया।
because his senior
तो
spiritual master has been respected, so
मुनियों को बुरा
we
नहीं
don't need
लगता,
anything.
गुरु जी को
So
प्रणाम
others
किया
should
तो
not
सबको हो
feel
जाए।
disrespected. Because if we have offered obeisances to the spiritual master, then automatically the disciples are
और उनके
offered obeisances in
मुनियों को
that.
प्रणाम किया और महर्षि विश्वामित्र ने जनक जी को आशीर्वाद दिया।
And Vishwamitra ji
कहते हैं, दीन
bestowed his mercy and blessings to Janak ji.
प्रसन्नता से मुनि
With happy
उस मुनि मुनि
mood,
के साथ
the
विश्वामित्र ने आशीर्वाद दिया। यहाँ पर मांगा
Muni
नहीं गया, ऐसा
Nath,
नहीं कि महाराज आशीर्वाद दीजिए, महाराज
he
कृपा
was not
कीजिए।
asked for blessings and mercy,
आशीर्वाद, ये
but
कृपा
this
मांगने
blessings and mercy we cannot get by
मांगते
asking.
बहुत हैं।
We
ये
ask,
कृपा ऐसी चीज है,
but this mercy is such that we cannot get it.
को भी पता नहीं रहता कब चली गई।
And when we get it, even the sender or the giver don't realize when it is given. It just happens automatically. But to get that mercy, we should have the service attitude and humility in ourselves. by seeing the humility of Janakji and his service, the Vishwamitraji bestowed his mercy on him and blessed him with his heart. He spoke from his stomach.
हरे कृष्ण प्रशंसित भूतल में महामोह निशा के दिनेश रहो विजयी निज राज्य के राजा बने मिथिला में सदा मिथिलेश रहो। अब इस आशीर्वाद को समझने के लिए 1 घंटा चाहिए।
So to understand this blessing, we will require 1 hour.
कर्म प्रधान सदा जनक मैं आशीर्वाद
Oh Janak, I
बिना मांगे मैं
bless you that without even asking for mercy, I tell you
उत्तम है कर्म
that our work is far greater than austerity,
और तुम उस बात को जानते हो
and you are aware of the same. Therefore,
संसार को समाज को बिना छोड़े उस
without being detached to the world, although you live in this world and society, you perform devotional service.
रहो तुम भव में संसार में हो समाज में
And you're in this material world and society,
कर रखते हो
but you have hidden your devotional service.
राजा है
Ordinarily, it seems that you're a king, but inwardly, you are a great saint.
तुम्हारा जीवन जल
I bless you
कलेश रहो जैसे कीचड़ में कमल होता है
as a pond has, a murky pond has
लेकिन
a
कीचड़ से
lotus,
नहीं होता
but it is not affected by that murkiness.
लेकिन
Similarly, you are although in this material world, but you are untouched by the same,
सदैव भक्ति
and
से तुम्हारा पोषण होता रहेगा
you always be nourished by devotional service.
कितना
And may you always be the king.
लेकिन
You will always reside in Mithila,
तुम्हारे जीवन में
and
मिथ्या अभिमान और अहंकार लेश मात्र भी नहीं रहे।
you will not have
तो इस
any
प्रकार से
tinge of
मित्र
envy
बहुत सुंदर महाराज
or
जनक को आशीर्वाद देते हैं।
untruthfulness.
महाराज जनक
So, in this way,
ऋषि मुनि साधुओं को प्रणाम करते हैं
he is blessed
और बड़ा
by Vishwamitra,
समझकर बड़े
and
आनंदित होते हैं।
Janakji
एक बहुत
thinks that he is very fortunate, and at a beautiful place they all sit.
थोड़े पीछे रह गए थे
Ram and Lakshman ji were sitting, were left little behind.
तो जनक जी आए
So here Janakji has arrived with all his
विश्वामित्र के साथ मिलन हुआ और अन्य
people, and they met Vishwamitra and all the other sages, and they all sat.
गए तब राम और
So when they all sat,
होती हैं
then Ram and Lakshman enter.
लक्ष्मण क्यों पीछे रह गए
So why were they left behind?
पर जनक जी और
In the place where
मिलना हुआ
Janakji and Vishwamitra met,
उसी स्थान
not far from there,
बगीचा था
there was a garden,
और राम जी के मन में था कि गुरु
and Ramji had this thought that the spiritual master serves the Lord,
उनको सेवा के लिए
so
फूल चाहिए
for that he might require flowers.
इमीडिएट अचानक वो फूल
And
के लिए बताएंगे तो हम
he
कहाँ
thought that he will ask for flowers, then where will we go? So while walking, he was thinking how he can serve the master better, how it could go without any obstacle.
देखने के लिए
So he went to a garden, and that is why he was left behind. And by the time they reached, what they see, that all the sages, Vishwamitra, and Janakji, and his assembly of people are there. So just it is, we should learn the etiquette from Lord Sri Ram, how he enters.
आये दो भाई तेहि अवसर आये दो भाई गए रहे देखन फूलवाई गए रहे देखन फूलवाई ते ही अवसर उस अवसर पर
So at this time, these two brothers entered,
ये
and
भी एक
on what? So there could be a question: at what time? So Lord Ramchandra and Lakshmanji came little earlier, but when they saw that there is a discussion going on, so he stayed behind. That we should, it's not appropriate to enter. So when they paused this discussion, then Ram and Lakshman entered. Ramji is teaching us that when there is an assembly, when we should enter and when we should exit is a sign of our wisdom. So I tell you that before attending the Katha, you all should learn this etiquette, because Katha also is an assembly. When you are in the association of cultured people, then you should know when to speak, how to speak, where to sit, and when to enter and exit is a great quality. Sometimes, Seven, I face such situations very regularly. There is a great discussion that's going on, and thousands of people and lakhs of people are attracted to the holy names of the Lord. And at that time, a person stands up and he says, I want to freshen up.
अरे एटलीस्ट ये तो जानो कि क्या चल
At
रहा
least
है।
we should understand what's going on.
ये समझने लायक बात है। तेही
So, this is that we should understand.
को समझना बहुत बड़ी बुद्धिमानी है।
So, it is a great sign of intelligence. So, sometimes we go to an to assembly and pravachan or preaching. So,
करना तो दूर की बात हुई,
to,
हम लोग अपराध करके आ जाते हैं।
instead of getting blessings, we go and commit offenses because we don't are aware when we should come and when we should go or when we should speak. But Ramji is aware that when he should enter, we should remember when there is a meeting going on or there is a katha, there is a assembly of cultured people, we should be mindful that we should not create any hurdle in that assembly. And while we exit that time also we should think that nobody should be disturbed when we exit. And especially when there is a Bhagavad Katha that's going on, then we should be really, really mindful. Just because of one person, these thousands of people might not or should not be disturbed. Are you aware? In Sri Rangam, Sri Ranganath, the greatest temple of Lord Vishnu, there today, Lord Ranganath's Rath Yatra is celebrated, but it is not done completely and it returns from the door. And when did it started? There was a great sage who was performing the katha of the Lord. And the katha was in full flow. And, and at that time, the Rath Yatra of Rangnath Bhagwan arrived. And when he arrived, his flow was broken. And he said, now he is here to disturb the katha. Now, everybody should stand and obeisances. The pastimes were being discussed of Lord Sri Vishnu only. But he said that now that he is here, so we all should offer obeisances to him. But Lord Vishnu felt bad that this was a great mistake. I have entered at a wrong time. It was my pastime that was being discussed. Thousands of people were attracted to me, and this Rath Yatra came, and the flow of the Katha was broken, and it became a historical point, and it became a principle. Lord said that from today, wherever there is a Katha, I will not cross that place. So the Lord felt ashamed and bashful that because of me an orator got disturbed. When Lord has such respect for his own pastimes, then what about of the devotees like us, what emotion and mellow we should have, no matter whether we understand or not, whether we take anything or not, but at least we should have this sense that due to us, nobody should be disturbed,
ना कोई श्रोता डिस्टर्ब होना चाहिए ना कोई।
not a listener or a orator.
मैं तो अक्सर कहता हूँ जो कथा
And
को
I
ऑर्गेनाइज
sometimes say
करते हैं,
the organizers of the Katha,
का सबसे पहला सबसे
the
पहली
first and
जिम्मेदारी
foremost
ये होती है
responsibility
कथा में
of the
कोई
organizer should be that there should not be any
और मैं
obstacle
इस पॉइंट पर
or
कहता हूँ
hurdle.
ते ही अवसर
So I'm saying
अवसर जो
this on
होता
this
है
point that
भगवान
this
बहुत अच्छी
opportunity,
तरीके से जानते
the Lord understands it very well.
हैं। सभा को डिस्टर्ब ना हो, कोई
So
डिस्टर्ब
the
नहीं हो।
assembly should not be disturbed.
राम जी थोड़े पहले ही
And
आ
then
गए
he ended. Although he had arrived
डिस्कशन चल
earlier,
रहा था, पॉइंट
but
चल रहा
because there
था,
was a discussion
ऐसे
going
नहीं
on,
जाना ठीक नहीं है।
so he thought that it
जब
is
डिस्कशन
inappropriate to
समाप्त
enter
हुआ
at this
तब
point.
उन्होंने
When the
एंटर किया।
discussion was over, then he entered.
सो ते ही अवसर आए दो भाई, दोनों भाई उस अवसर पर आए। तो गोस्वामी जी को पूछा कहाँ चले गए थे, पीछे क्यों रह गए?
So
तो गए
he was asked,
देखने
where have you
फूल बाड़ी,
gone? Where have you been?
तो
So
फूलवाड़ी बगीचा
they
देखने
said that
के
we
लिए
have
गए थे। बगीचा किस
gone
देखने
to
के लिए?
see the
कि राम जी
garden
को पूजा में फूल चाहिए,
so that to
नहीं
offer flowers
फूल
for
नहीं मिलेंगे तो
the
पूजा में
Lord,
डिस्टरबेंस
for the
होगा,
spiritual
इसलिए
master.
फूल देखने गए थे। आजकल आजकल होटल में हम
Nowadays,
जाते हैं
when
तो
we
हमें
go
फुलवारी
and visit
नहीं
the
दिखाते हैं, होटल
restaurant,
में जाते तो हमें बेडरूम दिखाते हैं,
they don't
बेडरूम दिखाते हैं।
take us to
लोगों को
the
बेडरूम
garden, but
दिखना
they
होता है
take
कि
us to the bedroom or the
हमें डिस्टरबेंस होगा
restroom.
कि नहीं, भाई अपना ठीक से होना चाहिए।
So we should be
लेकिन
worried
बड़ी
about
बात है
ourselves.
अपने गुरु जी
But
के लिए
great is the
ऐसी
love
व्यवस्था
that
करते हैं।
he is making arrangements for his
अब जब
spiritual
राम
master.
जी उस सभा में आए,
When Ramji
राजा
arrived in
जनक
this
जी की
assembly,
दृष्टि
and
भगवान
when
रामचंद्र जी
Janak
पर
ji
गई,
saw
तो गोस्वामी जी
Lord Sri
कहते
Ram for the first time, Tulsidas ji describes it beautifully here.
हैं श्याम गौर मृदुबय सकिशोरा, श्याम गौर मृदुबय सकिशोरा, लोचन सुखद विश्व चित चोरा, लोचन सुखद विश्व चित चोरा। श्याम गौर मृदु वयस किशोरा। जनक जी ने क्या देखा? श्याम
So
वर्ण
what did Janak ji saw? He saw
के लक्ष्मण जी हैं,
Ramji,
गौर
who
हैं,
has the dusky skin,
और
and
वयस उनकी उम्र कैसी है?
fair
वयस
Lord
मतलब
Lakshman.
उम्र एज,
And what is their age? Vayas Kishore Avastha, that is, he's 16-year-old.
आंखों को सुख देने वाले, आनंद
And
देने वाले, और राम
he
जी को
gives
क्या कहा?
pleasure to the
विश्वचित
eyes,
चोरा।
and
ये
he
राम जी कौन
is
है?
referred to as Vishwachit Chora. How is he? He
ये तो कृष्ण से भी आगे निकल गए।
he has gone far than even Krishna.
माखन चोर है।
Krishna is only Makhan Chor. He steals butter and he steals the clothes of gopis.
चुराते हैं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा मैक्सिमम गोपियों के वस्त्र चुराते हैं। ये राम जी तो छुप
But Lord Sri Ram,
चित्त चोरा,
he
ये तो पूरे
steals the
विश्व के
heart
चित्त को
of
चुराते हैं।
everyone.
बहुत सुंदर राम जी को ये संबोधन दिया गया।
So very beautifully Ramji is addressed here. I was reading in Shruti,
को एक एक नमस्कार किया गया।
Bhagwan
कह के जानते हैं?
is venerated, and how, what
ओम
is he said here?
तस्कराणाम पतये नमः। बोलिए ओम तस्कराणाम पतये नमः। इसका मतलब क्या होता है?
So, do you know what it means?
तस्कराणाम, तस्कर माने
Om
चोर,
Taskar means
ओम
the thief,
तस्कराणाम माने चोर, और पतये माने
and
चोरों का
Patahi means
ईश्वर।
the lord of all the thieves.
ये चोर नहीं, ये चोरों का सरदार है।
So he's the leader of the thieves.
नाम पतये नमः, ये चोर के सरदार को हम
So
नमस्कार करते हैं।
we bow down and offer obeisances to the
विश्वचित चोरा।
leader of or the king of all the thieves.
सो और विश्वचित चोरा कहने का एक भाव ये भी है,
And Vishwachit Chora also implies here that Lord Shri Krishna, very few people have faith on him. Some have and some don't.
राम जी में तो सबकी श्रद्धा होती है।
But everybody has faith in Lord Shri Ram.
विश्व में
In this whole world,
लोग माने न माने, क्योंकि
Krishna
सरकार है ना,
may or may not be like,
सरकार है,
but Ramji is straightforward.
मानती है।
So everybody accepts him.
कहा
Therefore, he is addressed as Vishwachit Chora. He steals the heart of everyone in this world. Ordinarily, a thief,
उसको कोई देखना नहीं चाहता।
nobody wants to see him.
कि आज है ना
Do you have a desire
चोर का
that
दर्शन हो जाए।
we should
और मेरे
see
घर पर
a thief
कोई चाहेगा
in our home? Nobody wishes the same.
साधारण चोर को कोई देखना नहीं चाहता।
No one wants to see a thief. But what about this thief?
तो लोचन आंखों को आनंद देने वाला है।
The thief is the one who everybody wants to see because he gives pleasure to the eyes.
क्या अंतर है?
So this is the difference
को आंखें
between an ordinary thief and
लेकिन
Vishwachit Chora.
सब लोग देखना चाहते हैं, जिससे
And everybody wants to see him because he gives pleasure to the eyes.
साधारण चोर जो होता है ना,
Second,
लोगों से आंख बचाकर चोरी करता है।
the thief
चोर
tries
से आंख
to
बचाकर चोरी करता है।
not to have a glance
विश्वचित चोर जो है
and do it in a hidden manner or secret manner.
कर चुरा लेता है।
But this Lord, he steals by seeing.
मिले
Till the time you don't have his glance,
कृष्ण की आंखों से आंख
when your eyes meet his eyes, your heart will be stolen.
अच्छा, साधारण चोर जो है ना,
Ordinary thief
सारी वस्तु को चुराता है।
can steal our things that are outwardly, but this Vishwachit Chor,
सबसे भीतर जो वस्तु है, उस
he steals the innermost heart.
को दंड दिया
An ordinary thief is punished,
दिया जाता है, दंड, हैं? और ये विश्वचित चोर को
but
अपना
this Vishwachit Chor,
जाता है।
we offer everything to him.
तो इस प्रकार से
So in this manner,
कहते हैं
Ramji is addressed as
और किशोर वही के हैं
dusky skin
देखकर आंखों को परम सुख मिल रहा है
who gives
और ये पूरे
pleasure to the eyes, and he steals the heart of the whole world.
दूर गई, लेकिन जनक जी के चित्त को चुरा लिया।
He has stolen the heart of Janakji. Janakji is thinking,
फोकट में कर ली।
why did I took this vow?
ये शर्त नहीं रखनी थी,
I should not have put this condition
से विवाह मैं सीधा ही
to marry Sita. I should have married Sita ji
जी अंदर ही अंदर
to him. And now he is regretting this decision.
के वचन
And now his
के प्रति अद्भुत
words are amazing towards Vishwamitra ji. He says,
सहज विराग रूप रूप मनु मोरा थकीत होत जिमी चंद चकोरा सहज विराग रूप मनु मोरा थकीत होत जिमी चंद चकोरा इनहि विलोकत अति अनुरागा नहीं विलोकत अति अनुरागा बरबस ब्रह्मा सुख ही मन त्यागा बरबस ब्रह्मा सुख ही मन त्यागा। जनक जी गदगद होकर महामुनि विश्वामित्र से
Janak ji is overwhelmed, and in his overwhelmed speech, he tells or asks Vishwamitra, who are these beautiful princes? Oh, spiritual master, the whole world addresses me as Janak. They call me Videh, and till today I live in this world, but I have never been attached to this material world, even for a moment. But after seeing these boys, my austerity or detachment is breaking.
सहज विराग रूप मनु मोरा मेरे मन में सहज वैराग्य है।
So I have detachment. So we all have to work hard to get a detachment, and we don't even get that. We just portray. But in the life of Janakji, he has detachment. His heart is totally detached, yet and till today I haven't been attached to anything in this life. But today, after seeing these boys, especially the one who is dusky skin, my heart is taken away and I'm feeling attached. And how much attachment? As the chakwa bird is attached to this moonlight, it cannot leave the moon. As a chakwa, after seeing the moon, becomes mesmerized. Similarly, I'm mesmerized. After seeing him, I am feeling love towards them. And Janakji has given a great philosophical point here. He said, in my heart, the happiness of Brahmanan also is getting away. So he was in the situation of impersonal Brahmanism. So that implies he was attached to the Nirakar form of the Lord, or Brahman form of the Lord. And for him, that was the best. And he was attached to that. And he was detached to this material world. And this was going on in his life. But today, after seeing the form of the Lord, then this happiness of Brahman impersonalism is negligible in comparison to the form of the Lord. And he says that I can see the form of the Lord. So you just remember the Nirakar Brahm. We need to work hard to attach ourselves to that or focus on that. You should focus on the light or effulgence. So we have to do it with force. But
ईश्वर में मन लगाना नहीं पड़ता,
in the form of the Lord, we need
हमारे
not
मन को
to
खींच लेता है।
do it
हमने
on
क्या
our
प्रैक्टिस
own,
करी है
but
कि साकार स्वरूप
He
को पहुंचने के लिए
Himself
निराकार
attracts
में
our
मन
heart.
को घुसाना पड़ता है, लगाना
So
पड़ता
in
है,
Nirakar or Brahman,
इसलिए जब
impersonal Brahmanism, we have
लेकिन
to do
साकार
it by
स्वरूप
force.
है,
But in the
वो शब्द
form
नहीं
of the
बदलता,
Lord,
वो स्वरूप ही मन को खींचता है।
the form of the
जनक
Lord
जी उसी बात को
attracts
कह रहे हैं
us. And that
कि
is what
आज
Janakji
मन
is
लगा लगा
describing here.
कर मन
He
लगा
said
लगा
that
कर मर गया,
I have tried to focus myself in
लेकिन
impersonal
एक ऐसा
Brahmanism,
स्वरूप है
but after
जिसका
seeing this
भाव ये
beautiful
है
form of
कि
the
हमारा
Lord,
मन खींचा
that
जा रहा
automatically
है।
He is attracting
मतलब
my heart.
आज तक मेरे मन में ऐसा था
So
कि
till the
निराकार
point,
ब्रह्म का ध्यान करना
I had thought that
बहुत उत्तम बात है।
focusing on
आज तक
impersonal Brahmanism is great.
परमास्मि सोहम शिवोहम यही गाता था, लेकिन आज समझ में आ गया
So today I have realized
न शिवोहम,
that
मैं तो एक ही हूँ,
I
दासो
am
अहम,
Daso Aham. I am the servant of the Lord.
गुरुदेव जल्दी मुझे बताइए कि ये
So,
है कौन,
oh, spiritual master, please
कौन है
introduce them
ये?
to us.
ये मुझे
Who
लगता है ये
are
भगवान
they?
तो नहीं है, ईश्वर ही हो सकता है।
Thinking, is He
हम
the
समझते
Lord
हैं कभी कभी
Himself?
ईश्वर, एक आचार्य ने कहा कि बेचारे
A
जनक जी जानते नहीं
scholar
है तो
or
ईश्वर,
Acharya has said that although he might be
तो यहाँ
unaware,
पर
but
और एक
yes,
सिद्धांत
He is
यहाँ
the
पर
Lord Himself. So let me share one more philosophical point
शास्त्रों
here.
में ऐसा कहा गया है
It is mentioned in
जिसका चित्त शुद्ध होता है,
a person who
उस
has a
शुद्ध
pure
चित्त
heart,
वाले किसी साधु के अंतःकरण की चेष्टा प्रमाण मानी जाती है।
the
कभी कभी आपको किसी
feeling
प्रश्न का
of
उत्तर
such a
मिलते
sage or saint
पुराणों से न
is
मिले, शास्त्रों से न
considered to
मिले,
be valid. So if you don't get any answer from
संत
Vedic
के
scriptures
अंतःकरण
or
की जो प्रेरणा है
books,
वो
then
प्रमाणित मानी जाती है। इसलिए कहा
the
गया
thought
सतामहि
of a
सत्य
great sage or saint
पदेषु
should be considered
प्रमाणम
valid.
अंतःकरण प्रवृत्तयः, अंतःकरण की प्रवृत्ति ये प्रमाण माना जाता है। और जनक जी जानते नहीं है लेकिन वो कह दी है,
Although Janakji is unaware, but yet he says that
बात कहें,
he might be the Lord, or he is the Lord.
ब्रह्म सुख माने ब्रह्मानंद, या यहाँ यहाँ दूसरी लाइन के अर्धाली में
So
लिखा
in
ना,
the second line, if
बरबस
you see,
ब्रह्म सुख मन
Barbas
त्यागा।
Brahma Sukhi Man
ब्रह्म
Tyaga.
सुख क्या है?
So what
ब्रह्म
is
सुख
this
माने
Brahma Sukh
ब्रह्म को,
or the pleasure of
भगवान,
impersonal Brahman?
भगवान को
So
जो सुख
Brahma.
मिलता है वो
So
सुख
the happiness that
ब्रह्म
the
सुख
Lord enjoys,
माने
that
ब्रह्म
is called
आनंद,
Brahma Sukh
माने
or
भगवान का
Brahmanand.
आनंद, भगवान का सुख।
That is the happiness
उस
or bliss
भगवान
of the
का
Lord.
एक पहलू है निराकार,
So
उस
one form
निराकार का
is
ध्यान करने
the
पर
Nirakar form. And a person who meditates on this impersonal
ब्रह्मानंद का
Brahman
सुख मिलता है। ब्रह्मानंद का सुख माने
gets the bliss
जो
of
सुख भगवान को
Brahmanand.
मिलता है वो सुख
So the happiness
भगवान
or
को
pleasure
मिलता है।
that the Lord gets, he gets the same.
देखो यहाँ पर
But now let's
जनक जी
see
कितने
here.
सुखी थे,
Janakji was
जितना
how
सुख
much
ब्रह्म को
satisfied or
जितना सुख
blissful
है उतना
as
सुख
the
जनक जी के जीवन में था।
Brahman has, the same
लेकिन
happiness he has.
राम
But
जी को
today,
देखकर
by seeing Lord
जनक
Sri
जी का जो
Ram,
सुख है वो सुख हल्का लगने लगा,
the happiness
माने
that the
भगवान को
Lord
जो सुख है
enjoys,
वही सुख जनक जी के पास
he
था।
is
लेकिन राम जी
feeling
का दर्शन
less.
करके वो ब्रह्म सुख भी फीका पड़ गया। क्यों?
Why?
क्योंकि ब्रह्म सुख से भी अधिक सुख है
There is far more
उस
greater bliss than
ब्रह्म की
happiness,
सेवा करने का सुख,
that is
उस
by
ब्रह्म के
serving
गुण रूप
the
लीला को
Brahm,
देखने का सुख।
by seeing the name, forms, and pastimes of the Lord.
ब्रह्म सुख माने जो सुख भगवान को है,
So Brahma
तो
Sukh is
भगवान
the
को जो
bliss
सुख
that
है
the Lord
वो
enjoys. So
आनंद
he
स्वरूप
is
है। लेकिन उससे
blissful
भी
because
ज्यादा
he
सुख
is
क्या है?
Anand
उस
Swarupa.
भगवान को देखने का
But
सुख,
the
भगवान का
pleasure of seeing the Lord is far
यहाँ
greater
पर
than
देखिए
the
ना, जब
bliss
कृष्ण इस
that
धरती पर आए,
the Lord implies. And that
कृष्ण तो फॉर्म में थे
is
मैं
the
हूँ,
problem because
सबको
Krishna
राधा
was in
रानी
the form
बोलते
that
हैं,
I am the
लेकिन राधा
Lord
रानी
and I am the
कृष्ण की
most
सेवा
happiest of
करती
all.
हैं तो कृष्ण
But
की सेवा से
Radharani
ज्यादा
serves the Lord
राधा सुखी है।
and he thinks that Radharani
सबसे
is
ज्यादा
far
आनंद मुझे
more
राधा रानी गोपियां ले रही हैं, मैं
blissful
घाटे
than
में
me.
भगवान होकर भी
So
घाटे में पड़ रहा हूँ।
I am in the business of loss.
मतलब ब्रह्म सुख, परमात्मा भगवान का सुख भक्तों के सामने फीका लगने लगा।
So
तब
he could
भगवान को
feel
समझ में
the
आया
potency of the happiness of the devotees.
इससे भी ज्यादा सुख ब्रह्म की सेवा
So he realized that
हम्म?
the happiness
इसका अर्थ
that he
भगवान को
enjoys is
विष्णु
lesser
भक्ति
than
करने से
the
ब्रह्मानंद का सुख
happiness
मिलेगा,
that a person enjoys by serving the
सेवा
Lord.
करने से
So when we
इससे भी
serve the
ज्यादा
Lord,
सुख मिलेगा।
we will get far more happiness than being
और भगवान को यही
the
ज्ञान
Lord
हुआ ना
or the
कि
happiness of the
मेरे
Lord.
से ज्यादा
And that
सुख
was the
मेरी सेवा
greed
करने वालों को
that the
मिलेगा।
Lord had.
अब मुझे वो सुख क्या है देखना है।
So he
इसलिए
wanted to
भगवान
feel or
श्री कृष्ण
experience that, and
चैतन्य
that is
महाप्रभु
why
बनकर इस
he
धरती पर
appeared
प्रकट
or
हुए।
manifested as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
अपनी ही
on
भक्ति
this earth.
अपनी सेवा करके उस सुख का आस्वादन किए हैं। सुखदेव गोस्वामी भी इसके ज्वलंत प्रमाण हैं।
Shukdev Goswami also is an
पार्षद हैं,
example for
लेकिन
the
वो
same.
लीला
He is an eternal associate of the Lord, but if you see it from the perspective of pastime, we can see since birth he was a Brahman impersonal Brahman.
भागवत में भगवान के गुण
But
रूप
when he
लीलाएं
heard
सुना
about
तो
the
वो ब्रह्म
beautiful
संज्ञाता होने
form
लगा,
and pastimes of the Lord, he realized
शरीर
the
चले गए।
futility of the
तो इस
the
प्रकार जब
bliss
जनक जी
of
ने राम जी को देखा और राम जी को देखकर कहने लगे
Brahman form.
कि महाराज ये है कौन, अभी
And
तक
by
मुझे
seeing
पता
him,
नहीं
he
चला
said,
ये है
who
कौन।
is he? So still he has this question that who is this boy?
विनयी व्रत के प्रतिपालक ये मनमोहनी मूर्ति है इनकी, धनुबाण स्नेह के सालक ये, सुख सिंधु में चित्त निमग्न रहा, हरे कृष्ण महादुख गालक ये, छवि केंद्र महेंद्र से शोभित है, मुनि कौन नरेंद्र के बालक ये किस राजा के पुत्र हैं, ये कौन है, कृपया
So
कर।
he is the son of which king? So please request me or introduce me to them.
महर्षि विश्वामित्र को
In this manner, Janakji
तब
requests
महर्षि
Vishwamitra,
विश्वामित्र बहुत
and
सुंदर
then Vishwamitra ji beautifully replies. He says,
महाराज केवल आपको ही नहीं ये राम सबको प्रिय है, कहते हैं
says that Ramji is beloved of every.
ये सब प्रिय जहां लगी प्राणी, मन मुस्काही राम सोनिबानी, रघुकुल मणि दश रथ के जाए, मम हित लागी नरेश पठाए। विश्वामित्र कहते हैं
Vishwamitra ji replies
ये केवल आपको ही नहीं,
that they're not
ये सब ही,
only loved by you, but
लक्ष्मण
they are loved by everyone.
जहां लगी प्राणी, इस दुनिया में जहां तक प्राणी रहते
So,
हैं, प्राणी माने प्राणधारी जीव,
so wherever there is a living
जिसके अंदर
entity,
प्राण है,
a person who has the super soul,
सबको ये प्रिय है।
so he is beloved of everyone
इस प्रकार
who lives. So when
विश्वामित्र मुनि बोले
Vishwamitra ji
राम जी मन
replied,
ही मन में मुस्कुराए,
Ramji
मुस्कुराही राम
smiling inwardly,
बोले अपनी प्रशंसा हो रही है, देखो अपने सामने अपनी कथा चल रही है, ये प्रिय सब ही जहाँ लगी प्राणी। बात भी सत्य है, इस दुनिया
and
में
this is true.
राम जी को नहीं चाहता, अयोध्या में चाहता,
Who is there in this world who doesn't desires Lord Shri Ram?
भी राम को चाहते हैं,
Even animals desired
ऐसा
Lord.
करते हैं।
It is mentioned that even demons,
राम जी
Khardushan, etc., came to kill Ramji.
तो अनाउंसमेंट किया,
And by seeing him, they announced, we should not kill this boy. Why? We should kidnap him or abduct him. We should not kill him. Why? What will we do by abducting him? Said that we will take him to Lanka
एक कांच की पेटी में रखेंगे,
and we will keep him on a display. And every day we will have his darshan and make our life blissful.
असुर लोग भी भक्ति कर
So
रहे हैं,
Ramji thought that
जोर से चिल्लाया, धमकी देने लगे,
the demons are also performing devotional service.
बाल अच्छा नहीं है, मारो इसे।
So he shouted,
युद्ध शुरू हो गया।
and
राम जी ने
they said that he looks good, but he is not in good behavior, so they attacked him. And the fighter, so he disrespected him. He said that he looks good, but his behavior is not good, so let's kill him. And then there was the fight that ensued, and they got killed by the Lord. So there might be a question here. Vishwamitra ji said, I'm speaking on this point. Priya Sabahi. So he is beloved of one and all. So if I ask, is he beloved of everyone? We speak for this matter of speaking, but practically, if we see, Ramji is not beloved of everyone. So is Vishwamitra lying here? Oh, the experience of Vishwamitra ji is not wrong. We need to understand this. Just tell me, in this world, not only humans but also animals work hard just for one thing. And what is that? That is happiness. Whether we agree or not, nobody works hard to be distressed or unhappy. We all work hard to get happiness. And what kind of happiness that should be? That should be eternal and in huge number. So we work hard to get this eternal happiness. And sometimes we think that we will get this bliss in money, car, etc., but we don't get it. So in actuality, the bliss that we all are searching, where is exactly this happiness that we all are searching? That happiness is in Lord Shri Ram. So everybody desires that happiness, and everybody is crazy about this happiness. And even the animals also desire that. And it is loved by one and all. But that happiness is Ram personified. When Ramji was born, what did Vashishji sang?
सिंधु सुख राशि जो आनंद सिंधु सुख राशि सी करते त्रिलोक सुपासी सो सुख दाम राम असनामा सो सुख दाम राम असनामा अखिल लोक दायक विश्रामा। वशिष्ठ जी ने राम जी के जन्म के समय कहा था,
So at the time of birth of Lord Shri Ram, Vashishji said, who is your son? He is Anand, the Sindhu Sukh Rasi. He is the ocean of bliss and happiness. So our love is happiness, and we work hard for that day and night. And that pleasure is Lord Himself. Therefore, Vishwamitra Ji's word is proved here that he is beloved of everyone because he is the form of bliss, and that is very dear to everyone. So when Vishwamitra ji spoke this, so Ramji is signaling that are you going to reveal this secret by giving a smile? So if we give a little smile, then and if there is the situation where there's angst or but if you smile a little, then the situation will be disrupted or will be dis and the more we gather knowledge, the more we become devotee, we become more and more serious. So when time I went to Lucknow, it was written that we should keep smiling because we are in Lucknow. So I need to write. You need to keep on smiling because you're in Amritsar, because you are in the pastimes of the Lord. So you should be always smiling.
ये प्रिय सब ही जहां लगी प्राणी मन मुस्कुराही राम सुनी बानी। जब राम जी ने इशारा किया,
When Ramji signaled,
विश्वामित्र जी ने रोक दिया,
then
वो सब
Vishwamitraji stopped
साधारण से दूसरी लाइन में क्या कह दिया,
and ordinarily
रघुकुल मुनि
he then
दशरथ
introduced
रघुकुल के
Ramji as
दशरथ के पुत्र
the sons of King Dashrath,
ये दोनों
Ram and Lakshman are accompanying me.
लागी नरेश पठाए मेरा हित करने के लिए
And for my welfare,
इनको मेरे साथ,
King Dashrath has sent them with me.
मतलब माधुर्य से निकलकर ऐश्वर्य के अंदर लेकर चले गए।
So from Madhurya, he has transformed into magnificence or Aishwarya. So they have protected my fire sacrifice
ताड़का का वध किए, सुबाहु
and have
पहले
killed
उसको धोने
demons like Tarka, etc.
का उद्धार किए और अब आपके सामने आ चुके हैं।
And now they are here
इस
in
प्रकार
front of you.
आगे
So in this manner, he further adds,
चरण देखी कहराऊं कहीं न सकऊं निज पुण्य प्रभाव। तब महाराज जनक महर्षि
then King Dashrath, seeing
आज आपके चरण
sage Vishwamitra, he said, by seeing the lotus, your lotus feet, I just have one thought
का प्रताप बहुत है
that
महाराज,
there is
बहुत पुण्य
so much piety in my work, and because of that austerity,
से महात्मा का सत्संग
such a great sage
एक ही
has
मिनट में
came here and
महिमा बता दी अपने
I have got this opportunity to associate with you.
ये दोनों ये ज्ञानियों की बात होती है।
So
जनक
this is the sign of intelligentsia.
मुनि तव चरण देखी कहराऊ, राजा ने मुनि के चरण को देखकर कहा कहीं न सकूं निज पुण्य प्रभाव, मैं मेरे पुण्य का प्रभाव क्या कहूं।
What shall I speak about my good deeds?
संत का आगमन हुआ, आप
And that is why I have got this opportunity to have your darshan.
बिना पुण्य के
Without austerity and good deed, we cannot have devotee association or satsang. You can get any. The association can only be by good work. That is why Ramji has said, when we have done good work, then only we will able to get great association. And it destroys the material life.
सत्संगम च लभते पुरुष यदावे, जब हजारों जन्म के भाग्य का उदय होता है तब जाकर सत्संग।
Vyasji says that when thousands of our good work or actions are rewarded, then only we get an opportunity to associate with great devotees. And only a very rare person gets this blessing and mercy of a spiritual master and Lord Sri Krishna. So Janakji says that I got association, your association, and you have brought this beautiful voice with you. So there were so many kings that were Janakji has seen so many people. But after seeing Ram and Lakshman ji,
अब देखो कितना बड़ा मतलब बाउंड्री के बाहर डाल दिया जनक जी ने।
what a great appreciation here Janak ji is doing.
जो लड़के आए
He
हैं
says the boys who are accompanying you,
आनंद दाता, ये आनंद को भी आनंद देने वाले हैं। आनंद
they are the one who can give pleasure to pleasure himself.
ये आनंद को भी आनंद देने वाले आपके साथ ये दोनों आए हैं। कितनी सुंदर महिमा जनक जी यहाँ पर प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं। आनंद के हूँ आनंद दाता, ये आनंद को भी आनंद देने वाला, बड़ा गूढ़ मर्म छिपा हुआ है आनंद के आनंद
So
दाता।
there is a confidential principle here. So, Anandahu ke Anandata here has 6 meanings. First is the beauty of Lord Sri Ram gives pleasure to pleasure itself or happiness itself. Sometimes we get happiness, we become happy. But when will the pleasure or bliss get happiness?
लेकिन आनंद को खुशी कब मिलती होगी, वो बेचारा कब राजी होता होगा। तो आनंद को जब राम जी मिलते हैं तब वो आनंद,
So when this pleasure or bliss meets Ramji, he becomes happy.
इसका दूसरा अर्थ होता है
And the second meaning here is
आनंद का भोगता हूँ,
I am
स्वयं ब्रह्मानंद में स्थित हूँ इसलिए मैं आनंद
situated in impersonal Brahman,
में मैं लीन रहता हूँ। लेकिन ऐसे मुझको भी
yet
इनके दर्शन, इनकी
after
सुंदरता
seeing
से
them,
आनंद हो रहा है।
even I am deriving pleasure.
तीसरा, यदि
And the third,
आनंद स्वयं मूर्तिमान होकर रूप धारण करके
if
आवे
bliss
तो भी राम जी के दर्शन
comes personified, then it will get pleasure by seeing or having the darshan of Lord Sri Ram.
बोले आनंद नाम की जो वस्तु है इन्हीं से प्रकाशित, मतलब इसका सोर्स मुझे यही दिखाई दे
So
रहा है।
he says that the source of all the happiness and bliss, I can feel that it's him.
आज मिल गया, हम
So I have found the generator of all the bliss.
थोड़ा करंट मिल जाए, यहाँ से मिल जाए, लेकिन आज आनंद का जनरेटर मुझे मिल गया, यहीं से सारा आनंद निकल रहा है। क्यों?
So from here only all the bliss is derived because he is the provider of all the bliss. And the fifth meaning is
ये स्वयंवर जो मैंने आयोजन किया है
so
वो एक आनंद का उत्सव है।
this marriage ceremony that I have arranged is a festival of bliss and happiness.
लेकिन उसको भी आनंद देंगे,
But he is going to give pleasure,
पूर्ण करेंगे,
that he will complete the vow. That is what I feel.
आनंददाता। और अंतिम अर्थ एक आचार्य
And lastly, as the scholars write,
सीता जी आनंद
Sita ji
अलादीनी शक्ति
is the internal potency of the Lord. So this internal potency of the Lord will get pleasure from Lord Sri Ram. Therefore, he is referred to Anandahu ke Anand Data.
आनंद देने वाले हैं। लेकिन एक पॉइंट आया इसलिए कह दूं,
So let me add one more point here, that he has the potency to give bliss to the bliss itself, because the sun has a potency to give light to everyone, but he cannot hide. But in case of the Lord, it's different. Although the Lord is bliss personified, but he can give pleasure or bliss only to the one whom he desires to give it to. In Dhanur Yajna Mandap, there were so many kings, were all in bliss after seeing Lord Sri Ram. Some got envious. So Janak ji and Sita ji, Sunena, and all the inhabitants of Mithila were in blissful mood. But he gives bliss only to the one he desires. In Lanka, the demons saw Lord Sri Ram so many times, but they didn't got this bliss. Khardushan was given a little
So आप
pleasure or bliss, but that was taken away from him.
संस्कृत टीका में लिखते हैं
So a scholar in Sanskrit
के अंदर
has
की
written
भाव आप
the
देखिए क्या आचार्य ने लिखा
secret,
है
confidential
जनक जी अपने
emotion of
हृदय में सोचते
Janakji.
हैं
What
कि
is
मैं
Janakji
राम को
contemplating?
बोले इस राम जी को देखकर लड़के को
He
देखकर
says, after seeing Ramji,
सफल हो गया
my
सो
birth
यदि
has
मैं
been
सफलम जन्म
become
अद्य मैं
my birth
सफलम
has been
तप
successful,
आज मेरा तप भी सफल हो गया अद्य
and
मैं
all my
सफलम राज्यम
austerity has
आज मेरा
paid off.
राज्य भी सफल हो गया
My
पूरी
kingdom
मिथिला
also has become
मेरी मिथिला धन्य हो गई यहाँ कुछ
satisfied.
गड़बड़ हो गई
But there is
जनक जी
one
अपने मन में
problem.
अफसोस कर रहे हैं
He
बोले
is
गड़बड़ हो
regretting
गई बोले क्या धनुषश्च प्रतिज्ञेयम ये धनुष यज्ञ की प्रतिज्ञा जो मैंने की है
that vow that
मेरे
I have
धनुष को
taken
जो
for this
उठाएगा वही सीता का
bow,
वर बनेगा ये
that
गड़बड़ हो
whoever
गई
picks the bow will
ये
marry
मैंने नहीं
Sita.
करना
That is
चाहिए
the
था
greatest
ये मैंने नहीं किया
problem.
होता
I
तो मैं
shouldn't have done
संस्कृति
that.
से ही शादी करा लेता
Otherwise, I would have
लेकिन हाय
married my daughter to him.
धनुष यज्ञ प्रतिज्ञेयम निरर्था च कृता मया ये मैंने निरर्थक
It was a futile,
धनुष यज्ञ की प्रतिज्ञा की
unnecessary vow that I have
जनक जी
taken.
क्या सोचते हैं
Then
कर्मणा
what
च
is he thinking?
प्रदेया में प्रणतिष्ठतु यातु वा वैसे तो मुझे लगता है कि ये धनुष तोड़ देगा
Although I see, I think that he will break
देगा लेकिन
the
जनक जी देखो
bow.
मन में क्या सोच रहे हैं
But
ये
inwardly, in
धनुष
his heart, he
नहीं
see,
तोड़ा ना
if he doesn't
तो
even
मैं भी
breaks the bow,
प्रतिज्ञा तोड़कर शादी
I will
करके
break my vow and I will get my daughter
ये
married
तोड़
to him.
देगा लेकिन यदि इसने नहीं
Although I'm
तोड़ा
confident that
तो
he
मैं
will break,
तोड़
but
दूंगा
even if it
मैं भी
fails,
प्रतिज्ञा तोड़ दूंगा
I will
और
break
अपनी
my vow
बेटी का ब्याह मैं
and
इसी से करूंगा
marry my daughter to him.
सही इस प्रकार से आश्विन शुक्ल
So, in this manner,
आसो मास
Ashwin Shukla,
आश्विन मास शुक्ल पक्ष और 12वीं तिथि को
on the 12th day,
पारण का टाइम होगा 12वीं तिथि को महर्षि विश्वामित्र राम जी और लक्ष्मण
Maharishi Vishwamitra Lakshman ji arrived to
शरद ऋतु
Mithila.
का समय था
It was the time of Sharad
अब
Ritu.
महाराज जनक अब महाराज
And
जनक ने
now,
क्या किया अंदर की बात कर सीता
what did
सीता
Maharaj Janak do? He called Sita
सीता
ji.
बेटी
Oh,
काम
dear
करना
Sita,
क्या है पप्पा
you should do one thing. And she said, what,
तुम्हारा
my
जो
father?
कमरा है ना वो तुम
She
खाली कर
said,
दो
you should
क्यों
empty your room.
करा
Why?
दूंगा तुम अपना
I will
जो
let you know
सामान
later.
लिपस्टिक जो है ना वो नेल पॉलिश
You remove all your stuff from your room
तुम मेरे कमरे में आ जाओ
and you
क्यों
come to my room.
और
Why?
एक विशेष अतिथि को रखना है
I want to keep a special
जनक जी
guest
ने
in your
सीता
room.
जी का भवन खाली करवाया
So he emptied Sita ji's palace
और विश्वामित्र
and
को सीता जी के भवन में
made arrangements
किया
to keep Ramji, Lakshmanji, and
और उस भवन का
Vishwamitra ji
नाम
in
है
that palace.
सुखद
And
भवन
that
जब हम
palace
सुनेंगे
is
समय हो
called
जाता है
Sukhat Bhavan.
यहीं
So
पे
the time is up. We will listen the rest
यही
tomorrow.
होता है
I
रामायण
don't want to
राम
put a
कथा
stop here.
धारावाहिक गंगा की तरह चलती है
Ram
लेकिन
Katha
हम
is
अपने
like
संविदा में हैं
River Ganga, but we all are bound by the time
तो
factor.
ये
So
ना
we will
विश्राम
conclude
करने दीजिए बहुत
here.
दूर से चल कर आए हैं
Let
एकादशी
Ramji also rest because he has walked so much.
करने दीजिए सीता जी के भवन में हम छोड़ देते हैं इनको
So let's leave him at
से
the
मिथिला की
Sita
यात्रा
ji's palace.
करेंगे और
And then
मिथिला
from
की
there we will
नगरियों
go
के साथ
to the
और
garden.
लक्ष्मण जी का जो आमना सामना होगा कथा बहुत रोचक है तो ये
It's very interesting pastime that we are going to listen tomorrow.
आप सभी भक्त
And we will
धैर्य
make
से
our life
कथा
beneficial.
का श्रवण किए आप
You
सभी
all have been listening with great patience and love. I'm really grateful to all of you, especially the host family, Sri Ramesh Kumar Bali,
उनकी सुपुत्री
and the daughter
के बिल्कुल समक्ष बैठकर मुझे तो नहीं
who
पता कि
is
ये कथा
sitting in
सुन
front and listening. I was thinking they might not be able to listen because they're
आना होगा
busy people.
फिर भी पूरा
But
समय
still,
निकाल कर श्वेता जी
Shweta ji is sitting here and listening to the Katha.
भूरी भूरी धन्यवाद
I'm really thankful.
जय जयकार के
So let's conclude the session with Jai Jaikar. Today's session.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की